What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Sunday, first round of the fantasy playoffs. Hope everyone's doing well. We're going to hang out for maybe 10, 15 minutes. It's going to be a little bit quicker video today, but we'll get everything that you guys need. We'll look at the actives, the inactives, let you guys know who's in and who's out, and any other questions you guys have before the first round of the fantasy playoffs go away. I'm going to read some of the player news here, and just off the top here, we'll look at some of the actives and actives. We did get a few tidbits of information last night. I'm seeing David Njoku officially inactive for week 15 here. So if you're holding out hope, it didn't look good all week. They did express some optimism maybe last night that he could go, but he's officially inactive. Jordan Akins will be the tight end starting for the Cleveland Browns. And the Chiefs give up a lot of tight end points. So if you need a tight end, I don't think Jordan Akins is terrible. You have Tony Pollard active for week 15. Not quite sure what his workload will be today, but I think if you have Tony Pollard, you're probably playing Tony Pollard against that very generous Cincinnati defense. I'm seeing Hollywood Marquise Brown could make his debut next week. If you want to stash him and maybe see what he looks like next week, I think maybe week 17, we could maybe look at starting him. But for now, he's on track to play next weekend. I'm looking around here for some more updates. Tyler Conklin downgraded to out. I don't really want to rely on a Jets tight end, but I suppose Jeremy Ruckert will be starting there today. Maybe if you want to look at him on DraftKings or FanDuel lineup, that should be fine. Ladd McConkey is going to undergo pregame workout, and they're optimistic that he will play, but he still needs to undergo a pregame workout to determine his availability. I'm seeing Bucky Irvin is expected to play. I'm still nervous on Bucky Irvin. I actually have him ranked pretty low in my rankings for this week just because, we saw him play through an injury last week, and he re-aggravated the back injury, and they didn't really play a lot of Bucky Irving last week. So I don't really have a lot of faith and confidence in Bucky Irving today. I think he's more of a running back 3, not really a guy I want to put in my starting lineup. I am seeing Josh Downs is expected to play, and I'm going to hit refresh here and see if any more news has come through. And good morning, JSC. Do you think McBride, Kelsey, or Kittle is most likely to challenge Bowers for the overall tight end 1? Let me look and just see the points here in full PPR. George Kittle is still looking really strong. He's only 10 points behind. Brock Bowers does have an extra game here to play. I think it's probably George Kittle as the number one option to overtake Brock Bowers. He's been hot, catching touchdowns. The season's kind of over for the 49ers, so we don't know if Kittle's going to play every game the rest of the way. So I'm thinking it's Kittle, but I wouldn't be surprised if Trey McBride goes on a little touchdown binge here and closes the gap. Trey McBride's been fantastic with receptions and yards. He just needs those touchdowns to fall into his column. So I don't think it's Kelsey. Kelsey's been better of late, but I think it's probably Kittle or McBride most likely to challenge Brock Bowers. Fun question. Let me see. Breece Hall is active for week 15. So if you have Breece Hall, good news. We're going to be starting Breece Hall today against the Jags, man. You got to feel good about Breece Hall, maybe popping a big touchdown run or two in this one here. The Jets don't have anything to play for besides pride. Aaron Rodgers at company. They should be able to do what they want against the Jags. Pretty bad defense here. So I'm firing Breece Hall up in a couple leagues. Let me see what else we got here. Not a ton of information out so far this morning. In terms of rankings here, I think if you have Zach Charbonnet on your teams, you have to find a way to get him in your lineups this week. The Packers defense, still a quality defense, but anytime you can start a running back that's going to get the bell cow touches, you want to do so. I mean, 20 plus touches from Charbonnet is probably in the cards tonight. So try and find a way to get him in your lineup. The Packers do allow running back points here. They do allow the 10th most points. Not a lot of touchdowns that they've been allowing, but they do allow a lot of receptions and yards and things like that to the running back. So find a way to get Charbonnet in your lineups. At receiver, Ladd McConkey is the big question mark. I have him as like a wide receiver 3. Still don't know if he's going to play yet. I think you want to take advantage of the matchup. It's a great matchup for receivers going up against Tampa Bay. So try and find a way to get Ladd McConkey in your matchup today, even though we don't know his availability yet. They're saying that he should be active. So I'm going to trust that, and hopefully we get Ladd McConkey out there today. Let me see if I can find any more news for us. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all the news that we needed. We did get some news dumps last night. Derek Carr is officially out. A couple other guys. Don't know what's going on with DeAndre Swift. The Chicago Bears did rule out Roshan Johnson. So if you're holding out hope for DeAndre Swift, it might be a good idea to just add Travis Homer just in case. I'm going to look up the Bears practice reports from yesterday because I believe Swift returned to practice yesterday, and I'm not quite sure if Homer did. Travis Homer has been full practice, so he's going to be the RB2. Roshan Johnson already ruled out, and DeAndre Swift did get a limited practice in yesterday. So if you're nervous about Swift playing tomorrow night, I think adding Travis Homer might not be a bad hedge. And honestly, maybe adding Homer, for the down the stretch here might be not a bad option either. Adams or Jeudy. In my rankings, I have Davante Adams at wide receiver 14. I have Jeudy up here at wide receiver 22. It is a tough matchup for Jeudy going up against the Chiefs. I'm not super in love with that matchup. Whereas Adams today against the Jags have just been one of the worst teams against wide receivers. They've allowed 13 touchdowns to the receivers. They're up there. I think they've allowed the second or third most receiving yards to receivers. I would expect the Jets offense to look good today in Jacksonville. So I'm going to lean Adams here. As much as I like Jeudy, he's been on a heater, like very, very good, but I don't really want to mess with the Chiefs defense today. The weather's not super great down there either. So I'm going to lean Adams, but if you want to go Jeudy, I'm not going to say no. Rank these flexes. Allen, Barkley, Chase. Rank these fantasy flexes. I'm not quite sure. I mean, these guys are all the number one at their position in terms of like flexing, like who's the most flex right now. It's probably Saquon Barkley, just because running back points are, as it gets to fantasy championship season, you want running back points. I'm going to rank Ja'Marr Chase close second. I think QB Allen 3. Allen coming off the 50-point game is pretty intense, and he's quite the flex. But there's a lot of good quarterback options. Even Sam Darnold threw 5 touchdowns last week. I think there's a lot of quarterbacks that can flex. Ja'Marr Chase is flexing pretty hard, though. He's having one of the best receiver seasons we've seen in his career, and he's had a lot of good seasons, but he's having the best season with 15 touchdowns. So it's close between Barkley and Saquon. I just think this is the best we've ever seen Saquon, and he's been clear away since week 1. We saw him against Green Bay on that opening night. It's been Saquon Barkley, but it's really close. Ja'Marr Chase, number 2, but Barkley's got more PPR points, and he's just been super steady, and he's been the whole focal point of that Eagles offense and, 9-game winning streak and whatnot. So I'm going to lean Saquon Barkley as the overall flex of the number 1 positions. Let me hit refresh here and see if I got any more news for you guys. I think we're pretty much all caught up, though. Not seeing anything else coming in. I've got some playoff leagues here. Got some best ball playoffs. That's going to be fun. So I'm excited that we're here finally in the playoff atmosphere. Got a lot of implications today, guys. A lot of playoff and NFL real playoff stuff. I'm excited about the Packers Seahawks then. I think that should be a very good game. I'm going to probably load up some. Honestly, like if you have Deebo Samuel and you made it to this far in the playoffs, like he's not even a flex at this point. Like I didn't have him ranked as a flex. I had him as my wide receiver 39. He was more of a bench receiver for me. I don't know if he's droppable, but with the 49ers potentially, they might not play their guys week 17. Who knows? I don't hate dropping Deebo if you're not going to use him. Like I think it's fine to drop him. I would hold on to him if I can, but if you needed to make a roster move and pick somebody else up, I don't think it's terrible to drop Deebo because he's not making my lineup next week. Bills versus Lions Super Bowl preview. I think it could be. I've always thought from the beginning of the year that the Bills were going to be the AFC favorite. I'm hoping that we get a Buffalo. Yeah, and there's my guy Jesse. Long live the fellowship. Good morning, Jesse. Bills Lions Super Bowl preview. I still have hope that Buffalo can be the AFC team. I want to see them reach a Super Bowl with Josh Allen soon. And it's kind of cool, you get rid of Stephon Diggs and we see Josh Allen continue to play well in this offense evolve with new playmakers and just new ways of moving the ball. So I really like Buffalo. I think Detroit, they got to play Philly. That's going to be an even toss-up matchup. I think this very well could be the Super Bowl preview, but I still think Buffalo and Baltimore, you still can't eliminate Kansas City. And then NFC side, Lions and Eagles is probably where it's going to be. So this could be a Super Bowl preview. I think the Lions probably win today, but I do want to say I wouldn't mind seeing Buffalo knock them off today. Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I've seen Debo in a couple playoff matchups on benches. And I'm just wondering if Debo, the wide back, all those touches he's racked up, if he just doesn't quite have the juice anymore to get open. And I mean, Jawan Jennings has hopped him in terms of targets and stuff like that. And same with George Kittle. So not super into Debo. If you need to cut him, you can cut him. But I still think he's worth holding on to your bench, just with injuries and anything that could happen today. Debo could be your fourth receiver, this morning, but if there's an injury or two way, he could move up in your depth charts. So hold on to Debo if you can, but otherwise I don't think it's terrible to let him go. Kenneth Walker officially won't play tonight. That just came through from Ian Rappaport. And I'm just going to repeat the actives today. Tony Pollard, Breece Hall are active, inactive for today. Dave Njoku, Tyler Conklin, Keaton Mitchell, KJ Osborne, Zane Gonzalez, just a couple guys there. There's a team in my league with Darnold, Saquon, Mixon, Jefferson, Collins, Bowers. Yikes, that's looking pretty good. I do wonder if Bowers gets a little bit of a downgrade going to Desmond Ridder, but he should still be a high focal point in terms of targets in that offense. So I want to see Brock Bowers finish strong. He's having one of the best rookie tight end seasons that we've ever seen, and I was just looking at my draft board the other day. And sometimes it just comes down to did you pick this player? Like if you took Brock Bowers, there's a good chance you made the playoffs. If you took Saquon Barkley, there's a good chance you made the fantasy playoffs. If you took Jamar Chase, things like that, there's not too many guys that you can say, yep, I got this one pick right out of 15 or 16 picks. And it made the difference for me this season. But anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the football today. Good luck. I hope everyone gets their dubs. Hope everyone has good lineups on DFS and good luck with your best ball playoffs and all that stuff. So thank you for watching. Enjoy the day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.
Got me feeling icy.